By your mid-30s, daily life often feels saturated. You might find yourself running faster and faster just to manage 100 trivial emergencies, yet realize at the end of the year that you haven't actually built anything that lasts. In our 20s, many of us navigate this chaos using external subsidies. We lean on parental financial buffers, the direct guidance of mentors, and the high energy of youth. Approaching 40, those external resources permanently shift. Parents age and begin prioritizing their own retirement needs. Mentors step back, and for most, physical stamina begins a slow, natural decline. This transition often triggers a specific reaction, looking backward for someone to blame. We point to childhood trauma, parental mistakes, or the weight of societal expectations as the primary cause of our current stagnation. Waiting for these external factors to adjust to your needs, or for the people around you to finally change their behavior, traps you in a cycle of frustration. You are essentially asking others to solve problems that they likely lack the capacity or interest to fix. Real autonomy begins when you shift your focus from what others owe you to what you can provide for yourself. When the external safety net is gone, your own skills and internal standards become the primary tools for navigating life's friction. Cultivating that self-reliance requires margin. Think of margin as the intentional gap between your total capacity and your daily obligations, the breathing room that prevents you from living at the edge of burnout. Engineering this gap starts with a time audit. To protect your focus, you have to screen your commitments and develop the ability to say no to societal expectations that don't align with your long-term goals. Psychological freedom also rests on a mathematical foundation. Securing 3 to 6 months of living expenses creates a floor for your decision-making, allowing you to choose based on your values rather than immediate financial desperation. For many adults today, accumulating wealth feels high risk. This generation watched historic market crashes wipe out the savings of the people around them, creating a deep-seated aversion to any form of investing. This chart captures the dramatic volatility of the global financial crisis. These systemic collapses framed the stock market as a form of gambling for many, which inadvertently discouraged an entire generation from building their own long-term security. An emergency fund and a consistent investment strategy act as leverage. They provide a specific type of security, the option to walk away from a toxic environment without facing an immediate crisis. This requirement for leverage extends to your biology. Without intervention, physical energy and capacity tend to experience a distinct drop after age 35. In midlife, strength training serves as a strategy for maintaining structural independence. It provides the physical infrastructure needed to handle the increasing demands of work and family. Building muscle today is a long-term investment in your mobility. It determines whether you retain the ability to walk wherever you want under your own power as you reach your 70s. There is a neurological equivalent to physical strength, the prefrontal cortex. This control center intercepts chaotic stress signals, helping regulate emotions. It naturally degrades in your 40s. To maintain it, you must consciously exercise it by practicing the habit of pausing before reacting to stress. Relinquishing this emotional training leaves you reactive. Without a strong internal filter, you remain at the mercy of every external trigger or poorly timed inconvenience.
True margin aligns the body and the brain. When a crisis occurs, you possess the physical energy to act and the cognitive stability to decide exactly how you want to respond. Combining financial buffers, physical stamina, and emotional regulation moves you from a state of reacting to a state of choosing. You own the options in your life. Consider how this looks in a high-stress environment, just like the narrow, claustrophobic cabin of a commercial airplane. If a baby begins crying endlessly, a passenger with zero internal margin will often feel intense agitation. They might demand the parents fix the situation or express open hostility toward the family. This reaction is often a symptom of someone whose psychological bandwidth is completely occupied by their own stress. They literally lack the space to process an additional irritation. Contrast this with the passenger who has engineered internal margin. They hear the exact same noise, but they remain at peace because their internal environment isn't dictated by the noise around them. Because they have trained their emotional regulation and secured their personal foundation, they don't need the external world to be perfectly quiet to feel comfortable. Investing in your own resilience creates the bandwidth needed to offer patience to others. By securing your own resources first, you gain the capacity to offer generosity to a chaotic world.